Welcome to the fitness podcast Beyond the Workout, featuring your host, Coach E, where we give you health and fitness tips that go beyond the gym and help you along your fitness journey. So stay tuned and enjoy the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this show, Beyond the Workout, with me, Coach E. I got a special guest on. I was going to do this one as a solo show, but then I asked this special guest to be on. Who do we have? If you're looking at
Always
us
special.
on, say that again.
Always special.
Okay. So if you're looking at us on YouTube, um, you know who it is. If you knew what that voice was, then you know who it is. So who are you, special guest?
Coach Michelle, aka Coach Eric's wife.
Okay. Okay. So that's who it is, Michelle. You probably seen her on social media, on her Instagram. You do Facebook still? A lot of Facebook or not much?
Just my personal profile.
Okay. Yeah. So it's probably where you see her. And the reason I asked her to come on this show, like I said, I was going to do a solo show, and I just wanted to get her perspective on taking care of yourself. What is it that we, as those over 50, need to do to keep ourselves feeling good mentally and physically? Um, we want to feel we feel like we're young, but then we move like we're old. And I just wanted to touch base on the last show I did. You all remember the show with Mr. Reggie Matthews, what he's going through in his life. He was suffering from PKD, a kidney disease disorder. And you remember what he said in that show? Had he known beforehand what he should have been doing, he would have done it. Now, remember that PKD is it's an inherited disease. It was passed on from I think he said his father, and he fears he's going to pass it on to his son. So we're not saying he was at fault, no, but he was very encouraging because he's a positive guy, and he wants to take care of his health, and he knows what he should be doing. So we just want to get on here and talk to you about what we kind of do and what we've seen and what we encourage you to do. And Michelle is a nutrition. How do you say that, Michelle?
Nutrition coach.
Nutrition coach. She's a personal nutrition. I'm into nutrition as well. I'm certified in nutrition, but she really goes all out to coach people into eating right. And one thing she always would say is veggies most, veggies most. And guess what I've been doing more of? Veggies.
It took a couple of years
For who?
for you
Couple.
to finally hear me. So that's awesome.
What? I've always heard you. It's just that now that I started working and I've been listening to certain podcasts, which I want to bring that up too. It just made a difference in what I need to do with my body at my age. So let's get into that, Michelle. Nutrition. What do you do, and what do you recommend those over 50 consider when they talk about or think about nutrition? Just you know, feel free to just
Well,
say how you coach people.
well, first of all, I'd if you don't mind, I'd like to tell part of the story of why I do this and why it means so much to me. So, I forget around 2006, I no, 2007 or 8, I don't remember. I had just become a fitness instructor, and then my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she chose a non-traditional method of treatment. And at first, I'll be honest, even though I didn't say anything, I was not necessarily on board with that. That was until I went with her to the clinic. And I saw people who their doctors had told them, "Oh, you're going to die in 6 months." One you know, the doctor told her she was going to die in 6 months. This was like 10 years later, and she outlived the doctor. And I saw that a major portion of it was changing their food. It was mind blowing to me. And I still was a very definitely not on the health train or eating right train, even though I probably thought I was eating pretty good. Um, and we had stayed with friends this visit. And I remember we get into their home and I want to put something in the refrigerator and I open the refrigerator and I immediately think, oh my God, I'm going to starve to death. And now, mind you, the refrigerator is completely full of veggies and fruits, but that's not how I was used to eating. So I was like, this is weird. And so they proceeded to tell me about this health institute her and her sister had gone to. And I was like, and they were like, they have an open house on Sunday. And that visit, we were staying until Monday. So we had an opportunity to visit. And we go to the open house. It's really nice. They talk about detoxing your body and even electronic detox. And I was like, wow, this is a bit much. And they even offer you dinner. Like at the end of the tour, you can have dinner. I told the people I was with, we got to get out of here so we can eat. Now we're like, wish I had stayed to eat. But on our way out, we stopped at the bookstore gift shop, and there was a book, and it was the 12 Steps to Raw Food. Because where I was and where this healthy
Can you
version
say
of
that
me
again? Can
was,
you say that again? Can you say that again? That slow it down. Say what the book is again.
the title of the book was 12 Steps to Raw Foods by Victoria Buntenko. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. And the reason I got that book is because I knew where I was and I knew where I wanted to be after meeting all of these people. I needed some kind of program to get me there. And so I'm reading the book on the way back home. I'm in the Dallas Fort Worth airport. I'm eating a turkey burger because, of course, that's healthier. I'm eating a turkey burger and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is going to be the last bit of meat I'm going to eat for a while. Finished that book. I came home and within 2 weeks decided to go raw. I do not suggest this for anyone. That was just too cold turkey. I needed to do more investigation. I needed to ease into this because I actually ended up getting sick because it started bringing up so many toxins from all this healthy eating and food. So, in that process, I went raw, vegan, vegetarian, and then back to eating meat because now I'm gluten free. Um, but that's seeing what eating properly, and now it's seeing what not eating properly does for you. I was convinced. So that's what put me on this road. So now back to your question. You asked me, what should people do um, if they're over 50 and they want to make a change? Just like what you said in the beginning, keep it simple, veggies most. Stay hydrated. So before eating your meals, try to have 16 ounces of water at least 15 minutes before you eat. That has been studied and shown to help you lose weight, even if you make no other changes. And then make sure you have veggies and that be a big part of your meals throughout the day. That doesn't mean you have to give up meat. Just make sure you have lots of veggies.
Yeah, that's where my veggies most start because my breakfast is a single egg. I used to have like two or three eggs, but it's a single egg and I have mixed vegetables in it. It can be kale, collards, something people wouldn't eat, spinach. I'll mix it in there, little mushrooms, maybe sometimes mushrooms, maybe not. And I'll add vegan cheese to it just for the flavor and the sausage you make. I'll add that in, and it satisfies me for 2.5, 3 hours. So I'm good. I might have a little oatmeal with that or a piece of dry toast. I know people don't like dry toast, but I like it. Something I used to do in my bodybuilding days, so I'm okay with it. And I just tell people I would recommend people eat small meals. That's my thing. But if your small meals are are consumed with a lot of vegetables, you will feel satisfied, full, and it seemed like it's keeping my head clear. I don't have that brain fog as much since I've been doing this because then I'll have maybe a smoothie as a snack or some nuts with some raisins and cranberries in it. But then I'll have a warm vegetable dish for lunch, and before my workout, I'll have another one. Very little meat in it, and I mean, I've been feeling great. I did cut back a little bit on my water. I know you said drink a lot of water, but I noticed a lot of water has been making me feel bad. But now I can consume more water. Like you said, before I eat, not while I'm eating. I don't drink while I'm eating because I heard that wasn't good. So, what you were
It's
just
definitely
saying
not good.
about what you recommended, just that little thing, veggies most, and drinking just 16 ounces of water before you eat. I had told folks on my previous shows that I was reading a book, The Happiness Advantage, and I was going to tell them about the other two books that I liked. Man, you haven't read The Slight Edge yet, have you?
No, not all the way through.
Okay. So the other one was The Slight Edge that I like. And all it means is basically taking what you said and making a slight pivot. So let's just say someone say, okay, she says 16 ounces of water. I'm going to start with that first. Have their
Hmm.
meals, but I'm going to start doing that for like a week. Then if it becomes consistent, then she said veggies most. Okay, I'm going to eat veggies for breakfast. I'm going to figure out how to have that in my eggs. Uh, like I used to tell a client, I said, have a salad for breakfast. And she would never let me live that down, but you could do that. Uh, and then just make sure you have vegetables throughout the day, even for lunch and definitely for dinner. So let me ask you this: would you recommend like a veggie drink? Would you recommend that?
Um, Veggie drinks can be good. Depends on, uh, I guess, how it's made. Is it purchased? Is it made? I do want to go back to one thing. What I have also noticed for women, because you were talking about veggies for breakfast, um, having some fat, maybe for breakfast, or adding fat with your afternoon veggies is very beneficial. That's when I saw the most results, just adding some fat, because a lot of people do this low fat, no fat thing. And if you want to burn fat, you got to eat fat, but healthy fats like avocados, using coconut oils, that kind of thing, things from nuts. Um, and I have short-term memory loss. What did you say? What did you ask me?
About vegetable juices, like sometimes
Oh, okay, vegetable
they
juices.
can't
So
have a
juices.
salad, but you can go and get like a green smoothie. It's very high in sugar, but you
Well,
can get those.
yeah, thank you. That's the number one concern is how is it made? So there are, like, when you purchase a green juice at a store or usually at a juice shop, they have to mix it with some kind of fruit, and then there's no fiber. So you're really getting a shot of sugar. It's like a shot of sugar and going straight to your bloodstream, which is something, it can like skyrocket your blood sugar levels, which you don't want. The reason why vegetables and actual fruits, there's nothing wrong with the sugar in the fruits, but the fruit itself has fiber, which slows down the sugar going into the bloodstream, which is so important, especially if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic. So that's the concern. Now, there are supplemental powders that basically take these green vegetables, um, and things like spirulina and chlorophyll. They're good. You just want to look at the ingredient list for these powders. A lot of times they may have uh, sweeteners. Some of them have sweeteners, some of them don't. Um, I've used both. You want to make sure it has no artificial sweeteners for sure, like high fructose corn syrup. Um, I'm trying to think of
Sucralose,
some other
sucralose
sucralose,
can
things
have
like
that.
that.
Stevia is
Yeah,
fine. Stevia is fine.
stevia is fine. Um, but just look and see where everything is on the ingredient list. Now, it's so funny. There is one green powder that I've used, and it's literally straight greens. There's no sweetener in it at all. Like it is bitter greens.
You know the name of it?
And
Can you tell us the name of it?
yeah, sure. It's by Beachbody. That is the one that has absolutely no sweetener. It's all greens.
Is
And
that's what it's called by Beachbody Greens? That's it. What
it's
is it
power
called?
greens. It's
Power
power
Greens.
greens.
Okay, because I use
Power
the
greens.
what is the one that I use from
I
Nature Sunshine? Ultimate
Yeah, Nature Sunshine is it's a good one. Now that one, so
Ultimate Green
remember
Zone. It's called Ultimate Green
Ultimate
Zone.
Green
Well,
Zone.
go
I'm
ahead. Go
gonna
ahead.
since we're talking about it, I'll just tell you the big differences. So the one by Beachbody is just greens. There's no sweetener at all, and there's a trick to taking it because most people when they start to take it, they're like, even me, like I'm like,
All right.
what?
All right, but
It's butter.
wait before you tell them how to take it, because I was going to ask that question. How do you consume such stuff? Because the one that I'm drinking from Nature Sunshine, it has no sweetener in it either. I
Yes,
mean,
it does.
oh, okay. I don't taste it
Yes, it
because
does.
I put it in water and I sweeten it with stevia. But I wanted to hear
It
how do
has to.
you. I want to hear how you
Okay.
sweeten it. Go ahead, teach people something. Go ahead.
Okay. So first, let me just tell you the major difference. So that's one just greens. The one from Nature Sunshine has grains in it also. I think like quinoa, and there's another grain in it, and it does have sweetener, stevia, but it's way down the list. Maybe that's why you don't notice it. But compared to the bitter green one, yeah, it's sweet to me. Like I can just have the green zone by itself. Now the one that's green
Okay, hold on,
green,
hold on, hold on, hold on. So when we do this, when I want people to see a picture of this, so you have any of the greens, the power greens here? Do you have any? You can get a
no, I
picture of it,
haven't
right?
gotten a new because I use it. Yeah, I do have a picture of it.
Okay, we'll get a
I
picture so we
use
can
it.
show it here on YouTube. Okay, but go ahead, go ahead.
I use I use those power greens, especially when I'm doing like the 21 day, like I'm doing like a cleanse and I'm trying to reduce the meat, the dairy, and everything. So I use those greens. So literally, what I take the power greens and then squeeze half a lemon in it, maybe a drop of stevia, but technically just the lemon is fine.
That
I've gone from a girl who hates greens to yeah, I can take a green shot now.
not with a lemon. Lemon is bitter.
No, it cuts the green. It cuts the green, the citrus. And I was in a Facebook group and somebody said that. I was like, let me try it. And most of us were like, yep, that works. Lemon works.
Okay, and can people get these products
Yes.
from you? They can get them from you.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so we'll in the end we'll just say how they can get in touch with you. So if people want to try these products. But so I wanted to mention that, and I want to shift in a moment to our exercise routine. But before I do that, I want to pitch a podcast that before we pitch the podcast, I want to show a picture here. Right here, I'm going to show a picture of the book, The Slight Edge. So this is a picture of The Slight Edge, and it's by a guy named Jeff Olson. So I recommend folks get it, read it, and I think you will be encouraged by it because it talks about taking the small steps and making progress in your life. And then I told you I was going to tell you about the other book. It is really for entrepreneurs, those who want to start businesses, but it kind of can be helpful for those who just want to do better physically and personally. And it's called Unlocking Your Potential by Jeff Lerner. So those books have been powerfully encouraging to me. I encourage you, check them out. If and really the happiness advantage and the slight edge for those who want to make changes in their health and fitness routine. Even though it doesn't talk about health and fitness that much, it just talks about making these small steps for your mindset. And then I wanted to mention this podcast, and I was turned on by this guy by my sister in law, and y'all have seen her on some of my shows. And this guy is Dr. Mark Hyman, and I started listening to his shows while I'm at work, driving to from call to call. But here's one show I'm gonna tell y'all to listen to. It's I think it's about an hour and something. It doesn't show it here, but it's called How Big Food is Keeping Us and Our Children Sick with Callie Means. Callie Means is the person being interviewed or interviewing Mark Hyman. and it's Cali means CALLEYMEANS. Go to the doctor's pharmacy, FARMACY, with Mark Hyman. Look for that podcast. And this one isn't numbered, so you just got to look for that title, How Big Food is Keeping Us and Our Children Sick, with Callie Means. Very insightful information, ladies and gentlemen. When you
And
listen to this and hear what they have to say. I mean, my goodness. What are you going to say, Michelle?
I just want to add, listening to Callie Means on other podcasts, that podcast is so important for people of color to listen to.
Yeah, even this one, because
Hmm.
you see what Big Food is doing. So we don't have much time left. I try to keep my podcast around 30 minutes. So I'm not sure when we started. I was supposed to look at when we started, but I want to shift now to exercising because you're consistent. I mean, should I say consistent or obsessed? I'm not sure. Consistent or obsessed, because I say obsessed because you can get up, I'm so tired, or I'm feeling hurt, or I'm feeling sick. Oh, let me go work out. I'm like, what? Who does stuff like that? So what puts you in the mindset, or how do you stay motivated, self-motivation? What is this mindset that makes you get up and go exercise for 30 minutes every single day, almost every day? What is it?
Yeah, 5 days a week. Though I do want to add another 6 day. Um, the exercise used to be a little bit of torture. I think a lot of people can relate to that. But then I realized that as I built muscle, I built my mindset too, and it makes a difference. Like my energy level. So it's just movement. Tony Robbins always speaks about changing, like if you want to change your life, you got to change your state. And the only way to change any emotions um, is by movement. You've got to get out there and move. And then you're able to, if you're listening to something positive as you're moving your body, it makes such a major, major difference in mindset and positivity. So, yeah, I'm a little obsessed about that. And there was a book I read. Oh, I wish I could remember the title. I'm sorry. It's in the office with you. And it talked about how exercise can almost be like a pill for good health, like mental health, physical health, that the some of the things people have overcome just by using exercise was amazing when I read that book. So yeah, I just like it. It's just energizing for me.
Well, that's a tip for anybody out there who wants to get in that mindset of exercising, because the one thing you have, what a lot of people talk about, is consistency. So even if you say, I'm not feeling good today, I'm gonna go exercise. I'm tired today, I'm gonna go exercise. That working through that kind of strain or resistance keeps you going because you did
Yeah.
something. And so that's where I go back to what I do is I said it on another show every morning since I started working secularly again. I get up, even if I don't feel like it sometimes, but I put myself in that, like the happiness Evander say, think of something positive and happy in your life. And then I get up and go do it. Sometimes I'll walk in there and I open up this elliptical to get on it for 20 minutes. And just opening up the elliptical and setting it up gives me this boost. Like, okay, now I got to get on here. I drink some water, get on it, put on a book, and just read and make it through it. 20 minutes goes just like that. And then I told on another show that what I do when I get home, I've gone back to my bodybuilding style workouts again, where I just do one body part every day for 6 days. So when I get home from work, is within 1 hour of getting home from work, I have to do a form of exercise. So on a Monday, it's usually the chest, and it takes anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes, because if I add core workout in it, then it goes about 25 minutes. But if I just do chest only, it's a 15-minute workout and I'm done. Then the next day I do the triceps. And then the next day I do my legs. And the next day I do my shoulders. Then the next day I do my back. And I didn't do my back this past Friday because You and I went and got that booster shot, and I was a little sore in the arm. But anyway, I did. I'll catch up on it today, and then do my biceps on Saturday, and then Sunday is totally rest. But I'm not sitting still. I might walk around. We might go out and do things, but I'm moving. And I'll tell you this one thing: when I was listening to on the ISSA, our certified, because you certified through ISSA too, for one thing, right?
The nutrition.
So
Nutrition.
our certifying agency, I heard on their podcast where this guy said people look at the word or think about the word exercise and they begin to think, well, I got to do jumping jack, I got to do burpees, I got to go running. He said the body is designed to move. He said move the body, whether that's just walking around your house, that's getting up and going and walk around outside, or just doing things around the house. Even cleaning is moving. If you move your body each and every day, you're getting some form of extra. That's called exercise. So
Movement.
that's what I want people to have, that mindset of moving their bodies, doing something, and not just sitting on the couch, eating popcorn and popsicles or ice cream and watch a movie. Get up and move. So
I want to add to that. So the other thing is finding something someone enjoys. I know for me, one of the things I need is variety. I love having variety. Um, and then I found, excuse me, found out that I love bar and Pilates. How there's not usually a lot of weight work, so sometimes I'll do bar Pilates and then I'll do like some weight training. And I usually do weight training where there's going to be some great music and I get to dance in between the sets. So that's what I like to do, dance and bar and Pilates, and then I'm like satisfied and I get the results that I want.
right, and I'm the exact opposite. I love lifting weights. I love challenging myself when I lift weights. So I do what I call TTE in my workouts. The first T is Tabata. The second one is time under tension, or I call it TUT. And the E is EMOMs. So I can do that all in one, all together in the same workout, which is very high intense, or I could just pick one and do that. And I'm hoping to do a course around that so people can have choices. So, yeah, I mean, I think us being almost 60 years old, you'll get to 60 before me. Thank you.
You
Thankfully,
know what?
you're
I'm gonna
older.
hurt you.
You're older. Everybody knows she's older.
Everybody in the listening audience, tell him how fortunate he is that I won't kill him.
We're in separate rooms right now, but she is older. Anyway, being almost 60 years old and still enjoying exercise. And hey, how can people get in touch with you, Michelle? How do they watch you if they haven't already started? How do they get in touch with you if they wanted to?
I'll share my links because I do have a basic like about me page, but I don't know what the address is. Um and then of course on Instagram it's
MD.
Michelle underscore
Oh, that's right.
MD Jazz Fit, but it's Michelle underscore MD Jazz Fit, and then my name, Michelle Dunston, on Facebook.
Okay. And they can reach out to you if they want to talk to you about nutrition, if they wanted to get some of those greens that you talked about, if they don't have time to have veggies most, like having cooked veggies. Oh, and that's another thing. I don't know if I mentioned it. We've just been rambling here, but I do prefer now cooked vegetables more so over raw. It feels like that has a better feel for my body when I have cooked vegetables. I don't know. I'm kind of like
It's
sampling this out right now, and I'll go back to having raw to see how it might make me feel. But yeah,
So yeah, if cooked vegetables are easier on your digestion and your gut, so like if I'm working with somebody and I think they have gut issues and we're going to go through like a gut protocol, that first there's no raw vegetables. They're all cooked, especially the cruciferous ones, things like broccoli, cabbage, those
cauliflower.
things really need cauliflower,
Yeah.
those things really need to be cooked, especially if there's a possibility of some gut issues.
Okay, so we got to wrap this thing up because I'm not going to have an hour podcast. In fact, I got to do another one today. But anyway, what I wanted to know, someone over 50, uh, a woman, you focus on women, correct? Mostly, but
Correct.
what would
Women.
you say positively for them over 50? They feel like they're 70 or 80 years old. They move like they're 70, 80 years old. What would you say something to them right now to encourage them? If you were coaching them, what would be some of the thing, one thing you would say to them right now that you could say to my audience?
Just start small. Make today day one. Instead of one day, just make today day one. You can, if moving the way we're talking about is too much, sit in a chair, put on some music, and shake it in the chair.
Mm-hmm. And I would tell people if you don't know what kind of exercise to do, you don't know as far as weight training or even body weight training, that one of the best body weight training exercises you can do right now is walking. So if you can open your front door, your back door, and you can go out and you can walk 15, 20 minutes, go do it. And I always tell people you walk 7.5 minutes one way, turn around, walk 7.5 minutes back, you've done 15 minutes. Put on some music, like you said, just do a little bit, walk every single day and see how you feel. And I think this was good. Thank you, Michelle, for being on. Or what'd you call yourself? Coach Michelle? Is that what you call yourself?
Yeah, just call me Michelle.
Yeah, I don't do that
Find me
honey. I
on
don't do that
social.
honey stuff. Okay, honey, thank you. Anyway, I want to thank every one of you out there for listening to this show. I think it's positive and encouraging. And you can reach out to me, Coach E, if you want any exercise training, you need some one-on-one training, I'm available. Go to ericdunston.com. You'll see a link to chat with me. Just talk, see what you need, check out your goals. Thank you for listening, and take very good care of your health because it's very, very important. Take care. So I hope you all enjoyed that show with myself and my wife, Michelle, Coach Michelle. During the show, I had wanted to tell a story as to the reason I wanted to discuss that topic on mindset and taking care of yourself, both nutritionally and physically through exercise. And I have one other point I want to clear up too during the show. So this is a brief story. I work in the field of office equipment repair. And one day I was at the hospital working on their office equipment, and the lady that checked me in to and explain what the need was told me she had to run to get her lunch. So she would be back in about 15 minutes. And so she ran and got her lunch, came back, and she proceeded to answer phones, care for clients that came to patients that came to the desk, and also answer any questions I had. Well, I asked her, I said, but aren't you supposed to be on lunch break? She said, yes. She said, we get a 30-minute lunch break and two 15-minute breaks. And she said she works during lunch. And I said, well, I asked her why. Why would you work during lunch? Isn't that your time? She said, yes, but that's the way it's always been. Well, that's not the way it always should be. That time should have been her time. It's her break. She's not getting paid for it. She should be able to enjoy her meal at her leisure. And the other girl there said that when she needs to take her 15-minute break, she goes in the bathroom and take 15 minutes there. That's not healthy, ladies and gentlemen. Look, if your job gives you in your contract what you signed to start working there, break time, it's your time. It's not their time. If you proceed to walk away from your workstation, they need to have somebody else fill that station because it's your time to take. They should have been able to go outside, relax, eat, walk around on their break time, not go in the bathroom and not answer phones. So I'll tell you this, take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically. So when it's time to take your break, take your break. It is your time. You're not getting paid for that. And I'll tell you this, when I was working for another company, they would tell you if your boss were to call you during your lunch, do not answer that phone. And believe me, I did not answer when I saw him calling. So please take care of yourself and take some of these points that Michelle and I talked about and apply them in your life. And the second thing I wanted to clarify is when I was talking about the previous show with Reggie Matthews, I mentioned the acronym PKD of his condition, his kidney disease his kidney disease issue condition. I couldn't remember what the P stood for. That's why I just said PKD. PKD. It is polycystic kidney disease. That's what he has. So you want to look that up. If you know anyone that has that, they might be encouraged by that show. It's season 2. I don't know the number of the show, but you'll see it with Reggie Matthews. Okay, that's it. I hope you gained something from this show. I hope you can share with others, and please follow Michelle and I on our social media pages. You can look me up on my website, ericdunston.com. Hey, take care of yourselves out there and look forward to more of my shows. Take care.